Well, welcome everyone to the Town of Conception Bay South Public Council meeting for June 17th. And welcome our guests in the back of the room this evening and those who are watching on, I'm not sure what it is, or YouTube, I think it is these days. We start this meeting as we do with all of our meetings with the land acknowledgement. The Town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. Next up, we have adoption of the meeting agenda for this evening, moved by Councillor Barrett, seconded by Councillor Hillier. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. And next up, we have, oh, there we go. I'm gonna wait for the machines to catch up to us. And next up, we have adoption of the meeting minutes from the last public meeting, May 20th, and they are moved by Deputy Mayor Goss. They are seconded by Councillor Moores. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. Next, we have visitors, presentations, and petitions. And tonight, we start with something special. That's certainly something that we have never done here at the town before, but we are welcoming one of our own residents of Conception Bay South who has gone from Conception Bay South to the top of the world. We are like to congratulate and welcome Michael Kirby. And Michael, could you come on up and join us? Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Michael, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'm going to open it up to council to ask you a few questions. But Michael, just tell us, what was it like? What was the feeling like, I guess, as you realized you were going to get there?
The feeling was almost beyond words, to be honest. So when I got close, once I got within about the last 2 hours, I knew I was going to make it at that point. Because earlier on in that day, I didn't think it was very possible. It had been a long road to that point, and I was incredibly tired, and I had been awake for 30-odd hours without sleep and constantly walking. And but in those last 2 hours, once I saw the top of what's called the South Summit, at that point I knew I could do it. And I was beyond emotional, to be honest. And so once that last 2 hours were over, once I finally stepped foot on the summit, after realizing a dream of probably 25 years and work of 5 years that I put into it, it was pretty incredible.
And we always hear of the challenges, you know, the breathing, the oxygen, all these things. Did you face a point where you thought you might not get there?
I absolutely did, 100%. And it's very true what they say about the breathing and the oxygen, for sure. Without oxygen, supplemental oxygen, I would never have made it there. Most people never, ever would. But my moment like that really hit me the day before. So the way we move up Mount Everest, we go in different sections. We go between different camps, and at each camp we spend so many hours where we can rest before we move on to the next camp. And when I left Camp 3 the day before, and I was making my move to Camp 4, which is the final camp, I hit a point where I said, I don't think I can go anymore. And I stopped, and I was very emotional, and I thought it was all over at that point, but I kept saying, I keep making sure my mind didn't get in the way of my body. And I was able to flip the switch from negative to positive, and I kept moving. And my guide at the time, my guide was a very, very special and important person to me. And he said, let's go a little bit more. And let's just go a little bit more and a little bit more. And finally, thank gosh I didn't stop.
Yeah, amazing. And you just don't think this up one day, hey, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. You put a lot of work into this, a lot of preparation.
Absolutely. So I started. When I was young, I always had a fascination of Mount Everest. I watched everything I could watch. I read multiple books. And in about 2019, I decided that if I don't start now, it'll only be a dream. It'll never become a reality. So I started at that point, and I started training. In the beginning, I thought, hey, I'll exercise for a couple of months. I'll feel a little bit better, and it'll be all over. But then I did my first trip in 2022, and that went well. And then I signed up for my next trip in 2023, and that went really well. And then the next one in 2024, that went well as well. So everywhere along the way, everything kind of fell into place. But it was full 5 years of training and preparation.
Anyone around the table have a question or two for Michael?
Well, I think you just answered my question.
Yeah, so I actually had a question, what does the preparation look like? And you just kind of walked us through it. But then you spoke about your guide. So is this a guide who does this every time someone raises their hand and says, hey, I'd like to participate?
It's his profession. He is a professional, internationally certified mountain guide, and that's exactly what he does. So I chose, after I did my first trip in 2022, at that point then I knew my next step was to go to Nepal. Because I knew that's where the big mountains are, that's where all the experience is, and I made the decision to go there early. And I picked a company at that time that I knew I could use then for the smaller mountains and stay with them right through to Everest. And so they recommended a guide for me in 2024, and I made sure that it would be the same guide that I used in 2025 for Everest. His name is Dorji Sherpa. He's one of the Sherpa people, which is a local native people to the Everest region, and he was with me in September of 2024 on Manaslu, and he was with me again in 2025 on Everest, and he's now part of the family. We call him Uncle Dorji, and we speak every few days. I was speaking to him yesterday. And yeah, he's instrumental. Nobody ever would climb Mount Everest without the Sherpa people. It's not possible. They are the backbone of the mountaineering industry for sure.
Wow,
Anyone else?
congratulations.
Yeah, Councilor Moore.
Did you have a question? No, I mean, I realize you went to these different climbs each year, but living in CBS on a regular daily basis, was there things that you did specifically that helped you get ready? And how did you also do the oxygen part while being here?
Sure. So I spent at minimum at least 1 day a week on East Coast Trail hiking. Every single week I did not miss. I made sure I had to do that. That was critical. And second or 1A or 1B would be Signal Hill. I spent countless hours on Signal Hill. Just before I left to go to Mount Everest, at my peak of training, I would leave from the waterfront with 100 pounds on my back. I'd walk to the top, and my wife would be waiting up there for me, and she'd drive me back down, and I'd go back up. And she'd drive me back down, and I'd go back up. So the Signal Hill and the East Coast Trail were the biggest things. As far as the oxygen is concerned, I used, for my climb in 2024, I used a hypoxico tent. So I slept in a tent that was wrapped around my bed here at sea level, and it simulated the lack of oxygen at 7,000 meters. So I did that. I slept in the tent for 6 weeks before I flew over, and that was like pre-acclimatization for when I got over there.
Councilor Moore.
So my original question was going to be why, but you answered that because it was like a dream, something you always wanted to do. So now, do you feel like you have to do something else? Is there another big dream or something you feel you need to do now to top what you just did, or?
I don't think I'll ever be able to top what I just did.
No.
At the moment, I'm done. I'm done. I'm finished. I recently started to run a little bit here, a little bit of exercise, but I haven't done a lot since I've been back. And my wife is certainly happy to hear that I'm done. We always said that the goal was for just to climb Mount Everest, not just, but to climb Mount Everest and then be done. And one of the key components of this trip also was that the first part of going to Mount Everest is a 2-week trek. You have to trek to get to base camp. And my wife and daughter did that with me. So my daughter was 8 years old, and we figured she's the youngest Newfoundlander to ever trek to Everest Base Camp. So it was a big family commitment, and over the 5 years, it was a big sacrifice on the whole family as well. So right now I'm done. We'll see what happens in the next few months. Well, maybe I'll change my mind, but right now I don't ever want to see the inside of a tent for a very long time.
I do have one other part to that. Sure. A lot of times after like vigorous exercise and stuff, people get sick. Like, were you sick after, or did you have any like negative side effects, or?
Not so much sickness, just extreme exhaustion and fatigue. So when you reach the summit of Mount Everest, everybody thinks that's it, you're done, but that's only halfway. That's only halfway. The famous saying is, going up is optional, coming down is mandatory. So once I reached the top, it took me 11 hours from Camp 4 to the summit. It took me another almost 14 hours to get from the summit back down to Camp 2, and at that point, I was able to sleep for a couple of hours before another 5 hours all the way down to base camp, so by the time I got down there, I was pretty tired. Yeah, it took me a good 3 weeks to get adjusted back here when I came back. Just the time zone alone was a huge change, and then on top of that, the extreme fatigue and the lack of food, and I was pretty depleted by the time I came back. Yeah, change of the year, absolutely. It was a very big adjustment coming home.
Yes, Councilor.
Hey, Mike, actually, that was the question I was going to ask. You know, once you get to the top, is now you got to face and go back down again, but you just answered that question. But I just want to pass on a comment from my wife, Mary. Apparently, she used to cut your hair for many years. So she said, thank you. She said, from the bottom of her heart, she said, it's great what you've done, and she wished you all the best.
Thank you. Tell her I said thank you.
Okay.
I totally remember.
Councilor Hilliard.
Michael, you often hear in some reading about overcrowding at Everest and environmental impact and so on. And you want to make a comment on that for a little bit?
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in the fact that a lot of those stuff is way overblown by the media. There is a bit definitely issues with a lot of people on Everest, without a doubt. And that all comes down to weather, to believe it or not, because there's only 2 weeks of the year, roughly, that you can climb Mount Everest. Because once you need to wait for the jet stream to move away. So the year, when I was just there, there wasn't like a 10-day window where it normally would be. So everyone has their own turn to walk. It was very small and sporadic. I was very lucky to be in the very first window. I got up, and that night there might have been maybe 60 people. I was on the summit with maybe 15 others. It wasn't crowded at all. There might have been a day or two afterwards where it was sort of crowded, but not to the point of, there was one bad picture that keeps getting sent around that was taken in 2019. That year there was like a 1-day window. So I don't think it's that bad. As far as the environmental impact is concerned, that definitely was a problem, but there's been major steps taken to change that. Where they've tried to adopt what's called leave no trace. It's whatever you bring up, you bring back down. And all the camps that I visited, with the exception of Camp 4, was very well maintained. There's a whole new landfill section at base camp that is a whole new initiative. And overall, I think it's vastly improving, but there's still lots of work to be done in that part, for sure.
Okay, anyone else? All right, well, Michael, thank you very much. And look, we got a little gift for you. And I just want to say that, yes, you did. You got to the top of Mount Everest, but we're challenging Topsail Bluff. So you let us know when you get to the top of Topsail Bluff, all right? Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone, for the questions, and thank you again, Michael, for coming in and sharing the incredible story with us. And you know, you have to feel it when we saw the posting that you had made it safely and were coming back. You know, I think we get a great sense of pride in Conception Bay South that one of our own has done something so incredible. So congratulations from all of us and on behalf of the residents. And stay safe, and hopefully a little further south of the line when it comes to Nepal. We're going to move along now because we have a couple of proclamations on the agenda, and the first one I believe is Councillor Moore's.
Proclamation Recreation Month. Whereas the community of Conception Bay South recognizes that recreation enhances quality of life, active living, and lifelong learning, helps people to live happier and longer, develops creativity, and builds healthy bodies and positive lifestyles. And whereas recreation provides opportunities for personal growth and development for all people of all abilities and can be especially helpful to people living with disabilities. And whereas our parks, open spaces, and trails ensure ecological sustainability, provide space to enjoy nature, help maintain clean air and water, and preserve plant and animal wildlife. And whereas recreation is an important contributor to community economic development, which creates jobs, fosters tourism, and makes communities more attractive places in which to live, learn, work, and play. Therefore, the community of Conception Bay South does hereby proclaim the month of June to be Recreation Month, signed this day, the 17th of June, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Moores. And another proclamation, Deputy Mayor Goss.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. June is Pride Month. Whereas the Rainbow Pride flag is raised in celebration of Pride Month and to honor 2 LGBTQIA+ community members of the town of Conception Bay South. The colors of the flag represent the diversity of the 2 LGBTQIA+ community. The color red signifies life, orange is healing, yellow is sunlight, green represents nature, blue symbolizes serenity, peace, and harmony, and purple represents spirit. And whereas June is Pride Month, to recognize and commemorate the Stonewall Uprising in June 1969 in New York City, which sparked the social movement for human rights of lesbian and gay people. And whereas during Pride Month, we come together to celebrate sexual diversity and the freedom to be themselves, to overcome prejudice and be accepted for who they are. And whereas Pride Month is a movement to protest discrimination and violence, to promote dignity, equal rights, self-affirmation, and a way of increasing awareness of the issues the 2 LGBTQIA+ people face. And whereas Pride Month raises awareness and understanding of the 2 LGBTQIA+ community while promoting equity, inclusivity, and a greater acceptance of diversity. And whereas the town of Conception Bay South is honoring Pride Month as June 2025 to support, recognize, and celebrate contributions and diversity of all the people in our communities. Therefore, I, Andrea Goss, Deputy Mayor of the town of Conception Bay South, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2025 to be Pride Month in the town of Conception Bay South, and encourage residents to commit to continuing awareness, inclusion, and acceptance for all members of our community, regardless of gender identity, race, age, and beliefs. I sign this day, June 17th, 2025. Thank you, Mayor Bent.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Goss, for the proclamation. And we have the pride flag at the top of Fowler's Road now that'll fly for most of the month. Next up, we have new business, and I'm going to start with Councillor Barrett. Councillor, if you want to lead us off, you go ahead.
Sure, happy to. I have a other committee report as well. Will I do that first? Sure.
The floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor. I did want to highlight one committee meeting I was a part of recently. We had a Parks Commission meeting on June 4th. And that was a great meeting. We mapped out, as folks around the table know, every year we've been very, we've received a lot of beneficial help from our green team through the Conservation Corps. And so we had some good conversations about their work plans this year. And so certainly if you see them out in our green spaces, please say hello. And I also want to pass along a note provided from the CBS Community Garden about their forthcoming season as well. So again, folks are likely aware, but they have 3 garden sites. Our Gateway Garden, we certainly have a number of our events there. We love to partner with them. Manuel's River, we have the greenhouse, and we have a neighborhood lot at Ocean Glen off Earlstown Avenue. And just wanted to highlight to folks there's opportunities to lease a bed at the Gateway Garden or volunteer. and their plant out day is June 22nd from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So even if you don't want to be a part of the gardening or volunteer, I'm sure they would be happy to see folks drop by and check out all the things that they have there. So that is the committee report, but I also wanted to briefly mention certainly one thing that I know several of us were a part of. I believe it was last weekend. It was a real pleasure for us to host the art show here at the town hall on June 6th. I believe we had submissions from 41 or 43 artists, all from Conception Bay South, and it was incredible to see the talent on display, and I'm told it was the largest art show hosted in our community. So I know certainly Friday evening, Mayor Durbin, Deputy, you were there as well, and there was other folks throughout the weekend, and just want to thank our staff for pulling that off, our partners that we work with, and just congratulate everybody that participated. It was such an incredible evening, and so proud to be a member of this community and seeing all the talent there. So that's it. Quick final point is that our splash pad is officially open for the summer as of yesterday. I'm sure a lot of folks will be happy to play in that in the weeks and months to come. That's it for me. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Morris.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor Bent. So I just want to mention, as everyone probably knows, our soiree is coming up on July 5th to the 12th. If you go on our website, you'll check out all the fantastic activities that we have planned. And I guess Saturday is a big day. We have the soiree 8K run in the morning, which is always a great run, and then snacks afterwards in the stadium. And then, of course, our garden party, which is that evening with the headliner Shannon Gannock. And we also have Nick Earl and Black Cherry. So I recommend that everyone go online and check out events and see which ones they want to attend, and make sure you get tickets so you don't miss out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to add to Councillor Moore's there about the soiree, of course, the event closest to my heart always is the Clare Knowles Ball. So that's Thursday, July 10th, from 12 to 3 at the Legion. And keep an eye out for ticket information and make sure you get your tickets, and I look forward to seeing everybody there. Also, I'd like to congratulate CBS's Quinn Norman. He was picked 6th overall for the Newfoundland Regiment Hockey Club, and I wish him and his teammates good luck in their inaugural year, and wish them all great success. And lastly, a general congratulations to all CBS athletes who have been selected for all the various sports for the 2025 Summer Games as part of Team NL. I wish you all good luck and have fun. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship, a couple little things. Before we meet again, school will be closed, so I just want to remind people that we'll have hundreds of young people on the streets all day long, all excited with the fine weather and so on. And just ask them to watch out, drive safely, and take care with all these young people on the streets. The other thing, Your Worship, I want to recognize Isabel Quinton. Isabel is our Junior Athlete of the Year, but she was our Junior Athlete of the Year because she's National Kickboxing Champion. And since our Athlete of the Year presentation, she traveled to Turkey and won the Turkish World Cup Kickboxing championship. And I just want to congratulate her and certainly wish her all the best as she moves up the ranks in her age group and continues to compete at the international level. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Yes, Isabel's certainly, I think that's her second international win in the last couple of years. So she got an award for doing it a year ago, and along with other things, then did it again. So I'm sure we'll see her at the awards show again next year. Councillor Hardy.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple of things to bring forward this evening. So for the residents, June is the yard waste program for all of June. So encourage residents to put their lawn clippings, gardening branches, anything like that out into your compost bags. That's besides obviously trying to do better in the community and around your property. It's also a very cost savings for the town of CBS. So certainly encourage residents for that. And also to Councillor Hillier's point earlier about Isabel Quinton, my daughter actually trains with Isabel, even though she's 8 years old. The senior athletes train with all of the younger athletes. So her sister Leah also won a bronze medal at the 2025 Nationals. These are all residents now from CBS, all training together. We also have Brandon Evans, who was his first national champion at his recent nationals. Griffin Abbott, he won the national champion for low kick. And we also have Evan Roberts, who was also the 2025 national champion. So the group that Sensei Brandon and Christian have training from their group, great group of kids, very elite group of kids. So certainly look forward to these residents from the town of CBS moving forward on those platforms and those stages moving forward. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Deputy Mayor Goss.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. In keeping with our proclamation, I just want to make mention that this Saturday is our annual Pride Walk here in Conception Bay South, so we get together to celebrate Pride Month. And the event kicks off here at the Town Hall at 1 o'clock, and we'll walk from here from the Town Hall to our community park at Bishop's Road. At the park, there'll be refreshments, activities, and entertainment, and shuttle bus will be available around 2:30 to get you back to the Town Hall where we started. So pass it on and come out and celebrate Pride Month with our Pride Walk, our Out in the Park Pride Walk. I also want to make mention of the visual arts exhibit show we had here June 6th and 7th. I got here on the Friday evening. We had some 40-plus local artists exhibit their talent: watercolor art, paint, oil paint, fabrics, photography, and artwork sculptures. And I'm going to say it was absolutely amazing. So many talented people in our community of all ages. And I was told that there was 40-plus of around 90 that artists that were identified in our community as part of the group. So quite amazing. So, and everyone who came was truly, really impressed with the work and the talent here in our community. And just one little mention, this past Saturday, I got to present a lady with a certificate of congratulations on behalf of the town of Conception Bay South. So Mrs. Betty Fitzgerald of CBS celebrated her 90th birthday. And sweet lady, very smart. We had a great conversation. She was absolutely dashing in her little pink crown. And so happy to be surrounded by family and friends at the LOL Lodge in Upper Gullies. So just want to put it out there, say congratulations to Betty on behalf of the town of CBS on her 90th birthday. That's it for me, Mayor Ben. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'm sorry I missed that, but congratulations, Betty, on your 90th. Councillor Tilley, best for last.
Thank you, Your Worship. Again, not to I guess, go on about the art exhibit. I had the opportunity to attend as well. Congratulations to Dave Coates and all of his group for a wonderful event. I actually left with my wallet a tad bit lighter, but my wife was happy at the end of the day. As well, 2 Saturdays ago, we had our annual cleanup day. Well attended. Lots of people out in their neighborhoods collecting garbage that's was left unattended. Myself and the deputy mayor and yourself, Mayor, we attended the events at the stadium. I think Melissa, were you there? Okay, I couldn't remember. Anyway, if I missed anyone, my apologies. So it was a great event, some great local entertainment, and we look forward to the event again next year. Just a couple of more things. Councillor Moores was mentioned some of the events for the soiree. One is the open air dance, which features Shani Ganuk. And I strongly advise people, because I hear this common complaint every year: folks, buy your tickets in advance. tickets are always cheaper in advance. When you buy something at the door, they always cost a bit more. It's no different in CBS as is in any other public event. So strongly encourage that you purchase those in advance. Another little thing that I notice on my daily commute to work is recycling. And of course, it's very clearly marked in our recycling that your recycling should be removed away from your garbage container. There's a reason for that, because our trucks obviously stop and use an automatic arm to pick up the container, put it back down, but people are still tossing their recycling right next to the garbage container. So I kindly ask that you not do that in any future recycling. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Just I could say just a couple things, but it's not quite just a couple of things. The list is it's been a while. So I just want to congratulate and thank everyone involved with putting together and organizing and being present and part of it, and all the nominees and the winners from our annual awards gala. Just a tremendous event, a little cool in the building, but but the room looked fantastic, and the food was good, and the awards were very nice and well done, and just a great congratulations to everyone, and for a job well done again. That's the second annual that we've done this way with our Citizen of the Year, who happened to be this year from our King Club, Lauren Morgan. Congratulations to Lauren. Of course, to all the inductees into the Hall of Fame for the sports is incredible event. Deputy Mayor and I had the honor of attending at Admiral's Academy for their Speak Off event this year, and we were judges, and that kind of put us on the spot a little bit. So we gave everybody 10 out of 10 on everything. No, we didn't. But the performances of poetry, and I think they were all poetry, and they had a couple of minutes to perform, and they were just amazing. I did, I think it was grade 3 class, you were grade 7, and at grade 3, it was just amazing to watch how these young people were able to perform the poem and remember it, and they did such a great job. It was great to see. It was great to be part of it. I thank Admiral's Academy and all the staff there for doing these types of events, and of course all the schools do them, and we just happened to be invited to that one, but it was a great event. I had the privilege of attending a couple of weeks ago now the Special Olympics CBS year-end event, where they gave out the awards for the different sports that they have throughout the year. Just a wonderful event. I want to thank everybody for that. And look, there's no greater group, and maybe there is, but I don't think it's the greater group of supporters and coaches and volunteers for the Special Olympics and CBS. It really fills the heart, and it puts a lot of smiles on faces, and it's just an incredible group of people who do wonderful, wonderful work. And congratulations to all the athletes for the effort that they put in. And of course, I believe some of them have been off to a provincial bowling championship since. I think we've seen some postings on that. And then there's a provincial games coming up in Gander. And if anybody out there wants to support Special Olympics, I know that all the athletes involved and their coaches and so forth appreciate the donation to help offset the costs of traveling and so forth. And I encourage anybody to look them up. They're on Facebook. They have, I'm not sure they have a website, but I think they do. And of course, the provincial group does, so you can find them through there as well. But just a great group. The other thing that I attended, and it was a very nice event. It was the 41st anniversary of the Worsley Park 50+ group, and it was a privilege to be there to join them to help with their celebration. But it was also a little bittersweet for all of them there, because in the few weeks before the event, their president, Jerry Weir, passed away. And of course, that was very sad. And we paid tribute to Jerry and the effort that she put into the club to keep it going, and to make sure that it's as strong as ever. And I said that her daughter told me that Jerry, even in the last little bit of time, was up in bed doing up the dart scores to make sure that the dart players had up-to-date scores. And, sometimes, it makes you think that, that she really supported the club, but then the club was support for her too. And all these organizations, it's reciprocal, isn't it? When we're involved, we give, but we also get as well. And heartfelt condolences on behalf of the town to Jerry's husband, Ernie, and all their family. Looking down the list here now, I want to say next, the CBS Legion is sporting a brand-new crosswalk out front. It's a veterans crosswalk, and when you go up and you see it, you'll know what I'm saying, but it's a depiction of a military personnel. The crosswalk is white and red, and it's just an incredible thing to see. And just a little bit of background on that. The Legion came to the town a year ago saying, we've seen this somewhere, can we do it here? And of course, the line painting for the year was done. But I just want to thank our people in our Engineering and Public Works Department for bringing that together and making that a reality. It's now up there, and it's fantastic to see. And it's a privilege to be able to support our Branch 50 here at CBS this way. And just on that note, of course, coming up before school, I guess just after school ends, before our next meeting, is Memorial Day. On July 1st is also Canada Day. So, of course, the Legion will be having a ceremony at 11 a.m. here at our Monument of Honor for Memorial Day, and then afterwards, the town will be celebrating Canada Day. I'm not sure if the details are on socials yet or on our website, but as always, we do that. And I believe last year we were at Nugent's Field. I'm not sure if we're at Nugent's Field this year or not. I haven't got a nod, and so I'll wait on that, but there'll be lots of information go out about that. And just finally, I just want to touch on the art show that staff and the arts community got together to have right here at Town of Conception Bay South. I'm very proud to be able to host it here as well. A fantastic use of the space. The space back there where everyone's sitting was an art gallery and show and sale, and of course upstairs in our Green Slaves room as well. And one of the great things about it was, of course, seeing familiar faces that we have seen so many times, George Jarvis and Jill Moores and the others. But it's to see new faces, people that we don't always see at the shows with Studio 5 and others that we have worked with in the past, and to see the quality and the diversity of the art that was shown here was just incredible, and very, very proud that the artists are donating 10% of their revenue to support youth artists in a couple of our high schools, Queenie and Holy Spirit, this coming fall to support their arts programs. And we are going to be, I believe, partnering with David Coates and his group for a youth show in September at some point. So that's really inspiring and great. So congratulations. I don't know, are there any of the artists or any of the people involved with the show here tonight? I see a large group of people in the back, so I'm not sure. But anyways, congratulations to everyone. And I think that's all I have to say. So it wasn't just a couple things. I was right. Okay, give me the hook, Councillor Hillier. So we're going to see if there's any other committees. I know Councillor Barrett already talked about his. Any other committees to report? Okay, I'm going to go on to Commissioner's report, and I believe Councillor Tilley, you had something there?
It's correct, Your Worship. Before me, I have the Commissioner's report on the Town of Conception Bay South Municipal Plan Amendment number 38 and Development and Regulations Amendment number 61, and that's concerning the rezoning of 2703, 2707 Topsail Road. So we'll be tabling that for council today, and that will be going on the, I guess, the town's public media pages probably tomorrow or the next day, and it'll go on the following public meeting agenda for any further discussion.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. And next up, we get into the people's business, and we start with Finance and Administration. Deputy Mayor, you are off.
Thank you, Mayor. Just two items this evening. For Finance and Administration, 6A, 2024 Tax Receivable Summary and the 2025 Tax Recovery Plan. Be it so resolved that the 2025 tax recovery plan be accepted as presented and that approval be granted to submit the 2025 tax recovery plan and the 2024 tax receivable summary be submitted to the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Counselor Moores, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Next, item 6B, tax and other receivables adjustments. Be it so resolved that approval be given for tax and other receivable adjustments as presented. So moved.
Seconder? Counselor Moores, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And that's it for Finance and Admin this evening.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Engineering and Public Works, Counselor Hardy.
Thank you, Your Worship. A couple of items to bring forward this evening. 7A, approval to engage consulting services for the Community Lifestyle Centre. Be it so resolved that approval is given to engage Lat 49 Architect, Inc. at a cost of $744,410 plus HST for prime consulting services related to the Community Lifestyle Centre. Funds are available in the project account. So moved.
Do we have a seconder for that? We do. Counselor Butler, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship. So this here is for the engagement of the consultant services to move forward, pre-design, design, tendering, those types of things. So this here is why we want to get this moved out.
Any other discussion on this item? Getting things going? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? And that is carried.
7B, approval to award 2025 street upgrading, paving, and sidewalks. Be it so resolved that approval to be given to award to Modern Paving Limited the 2025 street upgrading, paving, and sidewalk program at a cost of $1,990,539.54, including HST, pending applicable provincial permits and approvals. Funds are available in the project accounts. So moved.
Seconder. Counselor Hilliard, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship. So our plan this season is to move forward with 1,550 meters of streets and approximately 800 meters of sidewalks to be upgraded and constructed. So residents, if you're looking forward for the list of streets, they can be found on our town site. Thank you.
Any other comments on that? Good. And I'm pleased that we're extending sidewalk. I believe it's along the main Route 60 in a couple of areas, down around Riverdale and
Yep.
up around Topsail Beach.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you very much, Councillor Hardy. Planning and Development, I believe that is Councillor Tilley.
Thank you, Worship. We have several development applications to go through tonight. So sit back and relax. Item 8A, 129, 141, Lawrence Pond Road East, subdivision of property to 3 lots. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 3.12 and 10.10 of the town's development regulations, that application number 5308 to subdivide 129 to 141 Lawrence Pond Road East into 3 residential building lots with a variance to reduce the lot frontage of 1 lot from 30 meters to approximately 27 meters be approved. So moved.
We have a seconder. Councillor Hardy, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 8B, 1315 Morgansville Place, single dwelling application. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 3.12 and 10.10 of the town's development regulations, the application number 5234 to develop a single dwelling on the property of 1315 Morgansville Place with a variance to reduce rear yard depth to 11.7 meters be approved. So moved.
Seconder? Councillor Butler, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That is carried.
Item 8C, 22 Emerald Creek Drive, hobby farm application. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.7 and 10.11.2 of the town's development regulations, that application number 4872 for a hobby farm with 4 chickens at number 22 Emerald Creek Drive be approved on condition that the applicant submit a manure management plan, register with the provincial farm premises ID program, obtain permits for accessory structures related to the hobby farm use, and that no roosters be permitted on the property. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion? No roosters.
No roosters.
All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
D, 44 Battens Road, home business. Be it so resolved that in accordance with 10.7 and 10.11.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 5244, received on April 23, 2025, proposing to operate a home occupation, which is a preparation of smoked, cured, and cooked meat and fish at 44 Battens Road, be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That is carried.
Item 8E, 58 Flats Road, application for accessory building. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 5.3, subsection 2 of the town's development regulations, application number 5312 for an accessory building, which is a garage, which with lot coverage of approximately 53 square meters at 58 Flats Road, be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That is carried.
Item 8F, 55 Foxer Bexas Road, application for an accessory building. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 5.3, subsection 2 of the town's development regulations, application number 5330 for an accessory building, another garage, with a lot coverage of approximately 83 square meters at 55 Foxer Bexas Road, be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hilliard, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That's carried.
Item 8G, 55 Harvey's Path, application for hobby farm. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.7 and 10.11.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 5208 for a hobby farm with 4 hens at 55 Harvey's Path be approved and the applicant submits a manure management plan, register with the provincial farm premises ID program, obtains permits for accessory structures related to the hobby farm use, and that no roosters be permitted on the property. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Hardy, discussion?
And again, your worship, no roosters are allowed in this
No-
application.
No roosters? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 8H, 1008 Conception Bay Highway, 3-unit apartment building application. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 5.4.3, subsection 10 of the town's municipal plan and sections 10.7 and 10.17.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 5278 received on April 29, 2025, proposing to develop a 3-unit apartment building at 1008 Conception Bay Highway be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 8I, 2933 Country Path Road, road dwelling application. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.7 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, application number 5206 received on April 1st, 2025, proposing to develop an 8-unit road dwelling at 2933 Country Path Road, be approved. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion?
Yes, your worship, I believe this is similar to an application that we've had in not too distant past, and I think it's just an extra road dwelling right across from that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That's carried.
Item 8J, 681 Conception Bay Highway Outdoor Market. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 9.8, 10.7, and 10.16.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 5233, received on April 22nd, 2025, to operate a one-day outdoor market at 681 Conception Bay Highway, be approved. So moved.
Do we have a seconder for that? Yeah, Councillor Moores, discussion? This is down in the area of, say, Lawton's, am I correct in that?
No, I believe it's the parking lot behind the Doughboys building.
There you go.
Even though there's several businesses in that area,
Right.
this is a weekend application, and those businesses do not operate on the weekend, so.
Yeah,
be approved.
okay, good. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And I believe that is it from the world of planning.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Now, we're moving on to Recreation and Leisure. Who has, yeah, Councillor Moores.
9A, CBS Kiwanis Minor Baseball Association. Be it so resolved that approval be given to contribute $10,694 to the CBS Kiwanis Baseball Association for the completion of the Blue Jays Field of Dreams project. Funds are available in the capital out of revenue account. So move.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Hardy. Discussion.
Well, this is our way of helping them out. There was a big process for them to go through, and they were one of the lucky recipients to refunding, so we're very excited to see all the new changes happening at that field.
Any other discussion? I just want to note that, the Kiwanis baseball were successful in getting awarded, I believe it was in the vicinity of $100,000 from the Blue Jays Foundation, Field of Dreams. This matches, I believe, $100,000 that the town had budgeted in budget 2025 to help with this project, part and parcel of it. And this $10,000 or so meets the requirement for the Blue Jays Foundation money. So the actual investment up there between the town and the Blue Jays is over $200,000. So it's a fantastic upgrade to this facility, and of course it's a key part of the baseball community here in our town, and to be able to see this, and I know that they're sharing pictures, but it makes it more accessible for people that want to go see the games. The infield becomes a regulation type of surface for the infield, I believe for the sand gravel that they use to match requirements to host bigger tournaments and so forth. So very proud to be able to partner with the CBS Kiwanis Baseball Association as a town to help them reach their goal. And so it's good on them. The work is ongoing and finishing up hopefully in the next little bit. Any other comments on that one?
Yes, Your Worship, I had an opportunity last week just to go up and stroll around, see what was happening up there, and that's a beautiful job that they're doing. All the concrete is down for the accessibility piece, and it's really well done, really first class. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful facility.
And of course, the Blue Jays, one of the requirements they had was that it be made for accessible use and so forth. And we had calls from, let's say, somebody's Poppy that was having trouble accessing the area to see the games. And that thankfully is going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be much more accessible, easier for people to get to see the games. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Okay. I think that's, we're down to procurement now, and I believe that is you, Councillor Tilley.
11A, approval to award Mangles River Bar Services, requests for proposals. Be it so resolved that approval be given to award the request for proposal for bar services at the Mangles River Centre to WHAM Events as per the terms outlined in the RFP. So moved.
We have a seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion.
Yes, Your Worship, as with the previous group who took care of the Mangles River, we still require bar services for certain types of events, so we call for an RFP, and this group were the successful bidders.
Ready to move on. Any other comments? I know work is continuing down the Mangles River and doing some upgrades and so forth, so we look forward to the restarting and some more events going on down there later the year. Okay, all in favor? Contrary minded? That's carried. And Down near the bottom, I see orders. Is there somebody? Yep, there we go. Deputy Mayor Goss.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one order here this evening. An order for 45 Cherry Lane. Be it so resolved that the order issued on June the 13th, 2025, under the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, the Occupancy and Maintenance Regulations, and the Town of Conception Bay South Development Regulations, ordering the property owner to immediately vacate the accessory building and discontinue using it for human habitation located at 45 Cherry Lane, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hillier, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and thank you, everyone. And that brings us to the end of our agenda for tonight. We are back here on July the 15th, believe it or not, middle of July, middle of summer. And soiree will be a thing of the past, so we encourage everybody to get out and enjoy soiree. And like Councillor Hillier pointed out earlier, be mindful of all the young people that'll be free in our community to enjoy their summer. So please drive safely. I will ask for a motion for adjournment. Councillor Tilley, seconded by Councillor Butler. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you. Good evening.